Hello and welcome to the next video of the America's 2025 previews. We're covering Pain Gaming of LTA South. First Brazilian team to get to the main event at Worlds this past season, and they're keeping the same roster, at least that's what's rumored as of the moment. Going into this season, based off of last year's entire stat line, relative to everybody else in the region, they are second in LTA South. And you're saying, but they went to Worlds and they got out of play-ins. Well, that's one patch of how many. So you got to take the whole year into account. This is a game where the rules change every 2 weeks. So Pain are second. The last 3 years, that's kind of been the trend. They finished second place every split in 2022, 2023, and spring of 2024, and then finished first and got to Worlds this past summer. Weiser is the top laner. Very good season out of him, especially internationally. He was very competitive in the top lane. 3.7 KDA, 60 KP, 7.8 CS per minute, more involved than other top laners. 3 out of every 5 kills. Solid KDA. Positive 1 share differential. This team obviously will have a perfect share differential, well balanced, because it's the same damn team, so it should even out to 0%. 1.44 ROI, good amount of damage in the top lane. 55 gold ahead. Every player on this team was ahead at 15 minutes last season. 2.73 vision score per ward placed. 21 champions in 81 games. He ranks second in LTA South based off this stat line. He's 26 years old. Kesante, Jackson, Rumble were 47% of his champion usage. Karoka in jungle. More of a facilitator with this team, allowing Weiser to get a little bit more gold, allowing Jinkido to get getting an advantage in mid. 3.8 KDA, 75 KP, 3 out of every 4 kills with this team. He was a driving force alongside Curry in the support role. Let me rephrase that. We look at this kill participation. It's more of a ball composition for 4 players, and then Weiser getting involved 3 out of 5 times. But Karoka, 5.6 CS per minute, which is lower than most junglers last season. That goes to show you the type of jungler he is. He's not the guy that's going to carry this team. He's going to try and make things happen. Negative 3.9 share differential, 1.07 damage divided by gold. Up only 40 at 15 minutes, so relatively even, which is fine because he's not high resource. So if he's going even with a higher resource champion, a jungler that's relied on to do more, if you're going even as somebody that's a facilitator, that's a good deal. 3.76 vision score per minute. You'd like that to be better, which is not, Jesus Christ. 3.76 vision efficiency, which is vision score divided by wards placed. You may say, well, champions affect this, that, and the third. Yes, they can, but when we look at everybody, if you're at 3.76 and you got a guy like Milky Way at 5.14, you could argue Milky Way's finding a better way to utilize his ward placement than Karoka. 17 champions in 81 games. Ranks 5th in his role going into LTA South this season based on this stat line. 24 years old. Maokai, Lee Sin, Sejuani were 42% of his champion usage. And that is something with this team that's nice. We've seen some teams, I just did Lion Gaming, and I believe the team before that were Loud and Tinone, so this will be more relative to former CB Lull fans. The Tinone's 60-70% of his champion pool were on 3 champions, which said, hey, Tinone's is going to play one of these 3 champions. This is what he's been doing all year long. Let's just prepare for this. Maybe he'll sprinkle other crap in, but really this is kind of his bread and butter right now. Whereas when you have everybody at 40%, it gets much more unpredictable from a draft standpoint, which I think is an advantage. Jinkido in mid. The meta did not suit him in Worlds, but he was able to get to the main event, and hell, that was enough. I mean, that's going to put him down in history in Brazil. So a 5.7 KDA, a 71.3 KP, and an 8.6 CS per minute. Gave up a bit of farm to other areas of the team to be involved 71% of the time. This team, like I said, fights together. It's evident in the kill participations. 4.4 share differential, 1.61 ROI. Maybe not dealing a ton of damage, but that's because this team doesn't necessarily I mean, this team just wasn't high damage, really, to be quite honest. So looking at the ROIs. 60 gold at 15 minutes, 3 vision score per ward, 15 champions in 81 games, third in his role based on this stat line, 27 years old. This team is older. And I said it with Loud, I'll say it with this one. I mean, this is why Faria's getting a little bit of a boost, in my opinion, is because, hey, there's a little bit of pizzazz there with that team, where this one, okay, well, how much growth is left? When are we going to start seeing a decline? Ari Corky Azir, 43% of champion usage. 80 carry is Cheeton. Many thought Cheeton would go to LTA North. From what I understand, that's not going to happen. And had a 4.7 KDA, 72 KP, 9.5 CS per minute. Higher resource, not as many Senna games as other players. And I mean, hell, got farm and made things happen with it. We saw him do quite well at Worlds, and really put himself in the limelight for this team. 3.9 share differential. He's not the most efficient player on this team. Jinkido is that. 1.6 ROI, so less than Jinkido as well in terms of damage divided by gold. 275 gold ahead, 2.78 vision score per ward placed, 18 champions in 81 games, which is second most on the team. Third in his role, 24 years old. Callista Zaya Ezreal, 43% of his champion usage. Support is Curry, and Curry brought this team to another level. Hit a 4.5 KDA, but a 77.4 KP. Over 3 out of every 4 kills, he was the one starting things. So he was the one that was roaming a little bit more than everyone else and engaging more than everybody else. And Kuroka, also very high at 74.5%. But it's either the jungler or the support more often than not that are the highest in kill participation. Very seldomly. We saw, there were a couple teams last year, Gen G for one with Pace, where kill participation the leader was not a facilitator, but in this case, Curry is that guy. Negative 5.4 share differential, only 0.58 ROI, damage divided by gold. That's very low. It's very low. 70 gold ahead, 1.72 vision efficiency, 15 champions in 81 games, ranks third in his role, 24 years old. Rakan, Alistar, and Rel, 44% of his champion usage. Coach is Sarkis. I know Zero is listed on some sources as a coach or a head coach, but Leaguepedia is what I try and use if I can. And Sarkis is listed as the head coach on Leaguepedia, where Zero is the strategic coach or something. So there is a difference there, I guess. Sarkis is 25-11 as Pain Gaming's coach in the regular season for a 69% win rate. 21-12 in playoffs with a 64% win rate, and 5-7 at Worlds this past season, 42% win rate. So I expect this team to be towards the top. That's why they're ranked second. And I mean, in the end, we'll see if they can get to an international event or not. And, the top of the board in LTA South is pretty close between the top 3 teams. So that is the thing. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.